Mushrooms look like food. Yet, by design, they are not trying to feed us. They are trying to survive us.
Some nourish, some kill, and many sit between, harmless one day.
Fungi live by chemistry. Their poisons are not accidents. They are strategies.
Bright colors can mean danger, or they can mean nothing at all. In mushrooms, certainty is a luxury. To a hungry brain, these shapes look familiar. But nature hides its traps in lookalikes.
The history of mushroom eating is a history of risk, repeated, recorded, and somehow tolerated.
Long before writing, humans experimented with wild foods. Trial, error, and the price of error.
Cooking helped. But cooking is not a universal antidote. Some toxins laugh at heat.
A mushroom is not a plant. It is the fruiting body of a much larger organism.
Beneath the ground, mycelium spreads like an invisible web, digesting the forest itself. Fungi are decomposers. They break down what other life cannot. Their chemistry is powerful enough to dissolve tough fibers. That same power can disrupt human biology.
The danger is not always obvious. Many lethal mushrooms are quiet, plain, and easily overlooked.
One of the most feared looks almost innocent. A pale cap, a neat stem, a silent disaster.
The details matter: the base, the gills, the ring, the habitat. Miss one, and the story changes.
Humans learned patterns. But patterns fail when nature mimics itself.
Some mushrooms bleed latex. Some bruise blue. These signals can guide or mislead. Color changes can mean enzymes reacting with air, not necessarily safety.
A mixed harvest is a gamble. One toxic piece can contaminate a meal or a life.
People tried soaking, salting, drying, methods that sometimes help, sometimes do nothing at all.
The most notorious toxins attack the body slowly, giving false reassurance before the collapse.
Some poisonings begin with a delay. Hours pass. The mind relaxes. The damage continues.
In deadly amanitas, molecules called amatoxins can shut down essential cellular machinery.
The liver, working quietly to protect us, becomes a target. When the liver fails, the body's internal order unravels. The cruel part is timing. Early symptoms may fade. Then, the organ injury becomes unmistakable.
Other toxins strike the kidneys. Some poison the nervous system. Some attack the blood.
And some do something stranger. They alter perception, shifting reality without warning.
Fly agaric contains compounds that can cause confusion, delirium, and unpredictable behavior.
Cultures noticed. They feared. They mythologized. And still, they kept eating mushrooms.
In many places, the choice was simple: risk mushrooms or go hungry.
Drying concentrates flavor, preserves food, and sometimes reduces certain irritants. But it cannot erase every toxin. Boiling became a tool. Some mushrooms are edible only after long cooking and careful water changes.
Discarding the cooking water matters for certain species. For others, it does nothing at all. Salting and fermenting created predictable foods when the right species were chosen.
Preservation is a kind of domestication. It turns wild uncertainty into routine.
The real revolution came when humans stopped relying on chance harvests.
Cultivation meant safety. The same organism, grown repeatedly, becomes a known quantity.
With cultivation, we selected flavors and reduced the need to gamble with lookalikes.
Yet foraging remained, the thrill of the hunt, the taste of the forest, the old risks, partially tamed. Mushrooms offer something rare in plants, a savory depth that feels animal. That depth is umami, often linked to glutamates and nucleotides that signal protein-rich foods.
Heat transforms them. Aromas multiply. The surface darkens. The flavor becomes bigger than the ingredient.
Our brains reward this transformation. It suggests nutrition, safety, and control.
Mushrooms also arrive suddenly, after storms, after warmth, like nature's surprise delivery. Human cultures built rules. Learn a few safe species, avoid the rest, pass the knowledge down. In some places, identification became almost ceremonial, a shared language of caps and gills.
We became pattern recognizers in a world of mimics.
And risk itself can be addictive. A successful forage feels like intelligence rewarded.
The irony is that mushrooms are neither moral nor cruel. They simply are. We are the ones who choose to eat them. Even edible mushrooms can be unsafe. They can absorb heavy metals and pollutants from soil.
Some species concentrate contaminants more than others. The location can matter as much as the species. Another danger is misidentification under poor light, or when a mushroom is old and decaying.
Age changes chemistry. Rot invites bacteria. Even a safe species can turn into a bad meal.
And then there's the classic trap. One poisonous lookalike hidden among the rest.
Weather matters too. Frost, drought, and heat can stress organisms and shift their compounds. Wild food is wild. It shares space with animals, parasites, and pathogens.
The forest can look pure and still carry invisible risks.
Which brings us back to the question, why did humans ever decide this was worth it?
Because mushrooms were a high-reward resource, appearing fast, tasting rich, and sometimes offering real nutrition when other foods failed.
The most haunting mushroom poisonings share a pattern: a meal, a delay, then a collapse that feels like betrayal.
Someone eats. Hours pass. Nothing happens. The world stays ordinary. Then, late in the night, sickness arrives, often violent, often confusing. The body loses fluids. Weakness follows. And still, the worst may be ahead.
Sometimes symptoms ease. The person thinks they are recovering. This is the cruel lull.
But organ injury continues silently. It's not drama, it's chemistry.
For centuries, people tried remedies, milk, herbs, charcoal-like powders, without understanding the mechanism. Modern medicine improved survival, but speed is everything. Delay is what makes these toxins so feared. The mushroom never changes. Our understanding does.
The true story is not one victim, but a repeating lesson across cultures. Mushrooms demand humility.
The safest mushrooms are the ones we learn to grow, reliably, repeatedly, and separately from toxic doubles. Controlled conditions mean controlled species. A small step away from wilderness, a giant step away from guessing. We turned a risky seasonal find into a dependable staple. Preservation stretched seasons. It made flavor portable. It made meals more predictable. And as cuisines matured, mushrooms became more than survival food.
They became pleasure.
Pleasure is powerful. It persuades us to accept risks we would never accept for bland calories. Even now, foragers return after storms, drawn by the promise of something rare. But the rule remains: if you cannot identify it with certainty, you do not eat it. Nature does not reward guessing.
The reason mushrooms didn't kill us as a species is that we learned, slowly, how to say no. Mushrooms should have killed us. Instead, they taught us caution and gave us one of the deepest flavors on Earth.